Alright, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai. Okay, double honesty, apostles of Great Millstone. Honestly, brothers, that be pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And all praise unto Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Really, all praise unto Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai first and foremost. Okay, so back out here again for the grace and mercy of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay, to get this word out, to go into the, the scriptures, into the Bible. Okay, to go into particular articles that I may go to from time to time, whether it be today or another time, and basically just to do a job, okay, which I believe I've been set up to do, and we believe we've been set up to do, us, the men at Great Millstone, okay, which was to prophesy the downfall, okay, of this society, which through the scriptures is Babylon, okay, because pretty much what you find out is there was two iterations of Babylon, okay, the first one of which was the Babylon of the history, okay, where Daniel was carried away into the captivity, and he prophesied there, and he did miracle works, works of miracles, and also too where the Medo-Persians that arose, and they had taken down that Babylon, but ultimately that Babylon was merely transferred and incorporated into the Medo-Persian Empire. And what you find out within the scriptures is that there was a Babylon that was going to come out of the earth, and it's going to rise up, and this Babylon was going to be the receiver of great judgment, okay? And when you go into the breaking down of these words, okay, Babel and Lon, which makes up the word Babylon, that's where you have the two terms, confusion and land, okay? Babel meaning confusion, and Lon are going into the word land, okay? So the land of confusion, and this was going to be the place where the Most High was going to liken it unto a golden cup, okay, wherewith he was going to pour out all of the abominable works proceeding out of that country, or proceeding out of that place. Okay, this is what we know within the scriptures, and this is what we know within the Bible as being America. Okay, and unto America, which is Babylon within the scriptures, was going to come a great and heavy judgment. So let's not go into the book of Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, and I'll start from the first verse. And now I'm just going to go in the spirit today. I haven't got any particular topics to go into, but pretty much what you're going to see within the scriptures is how Babylon has been likened unto a golden cup within the Lord's hand, and he's poured out the filth, okay, that was going to proceed out of the ruling class, the ruling body, okay, which was going to be Esau in these last days. What's good, man? You okay? Okay, which was going to be in the last days, and he was going to pour out this abomination, okay, which was ideas like equality within the family, because equality within the family, that's just anti-biblical. If you had a government, okay, that was going to be ruled by way of dictatorship, of which when you say there's a Most High, that's a dictatorship, okay, which transpires down onto his son Yahweh Shai, transpires down onto King David, and so on and so forth. That's a dictatorship, a standard by which we was going to live by. When you have a thing of equality, that throws that out of the window. So when you go to where you got Christians out there talking about equality, and they're talking about how the woman is on the same level as the man, and the man is on the same level as the woman, that's anti-biblical, because when you read the scriptures doesn't talk about that. Okay, so but all of those ideas was going to come from one specific place, which was going to be Babylon, which was going to be America, which we know to be America within the scriptures. Okay, and unto that country was going to come a great and heavy judgment, but more specifically unto the people that was going to rule Babylon, okay, the Edomites, that they was going to become even the greatest judgment that's ever befallen every nation. When you hear the scriptures talking about how the Assyrians got judgment coming up against the house of Israel and this, that, and the third, okay, you find out that was a group of people, okay, which later became a place and a city, and they had a city that they dwelt in, etc., etc. But ultimately, that judgment fell upon those people that ruled that. So when you're talking about Babylon within this society that we're living in, and we're saying that's America, well, really, we know that the judgment, historically speaking, where the country is destroyed, okay, the rulers of that country was going to be the ones that was going to be jacked up the most, because they was going to move from a position of power into a position of no power, okay? So let's go into the book of Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, and says, "Thus saith the Lord, behold, I'll raise up against Babylon, and against them that are in the midst of them, that rise up against me a destroying wind. Okay, so that destroying wind is going into the ICBM nuclear missiles. Okay, of which I can get a precept to corroborate that within the book of Job, the 20th chapter. Okay, so these was going to be the instruments of the Lord's judgment, right? So Lord set it up to where there was going to be a wicked ruler. Amos the 9th chapter and the 8th verse. Behold, the earth is given in Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Okay, he covereth the faces of the judges thereof, if not where and who is he? Okay, and to build upon that same point, judgment was going to come upon onto that wicked when it was ruling. Okay, so let's go into this scripture here, the book of Job, the 20th chapter, and this is the in fact, I could read really the whole scripture, and then if you keep up with the points, you see how this picture was going to be built up that I'm trying to build up within your mind. So we start back up within the book of Jeremiah 51 and 1. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, behold, I raise up against Babylon, and them that dwell in them, right, against them a destroying wind." Now bear that in mind. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter, and then we go to the book of Job. Okay, so really Isaiah 14 and 4, it says, "Thou shalt take this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how is the oppressor seized, and the golden city seized." So this destruction we're talking about, this destroying wind spoken about within the book of Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, is being spoken about here within the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter. Now, when you see, when you understand history, and you understand what happened and how things transpired, you find out that the man Isaiah was prophesying about historic Babylon 200 years prior to it being set up. Then it became a great province, and ultimately it transpired, and it was incorporated with the Medo-Persian Empire. But when you read about how this golden city seized and the oppressor seizing, and furthermore, the 5th verse, "The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and unhindered." You find out that through other prophecies like the book of Obadiah, okay, the book of Job, you find out that this is talking about what? This is talking about the mystery Babylon. Okay, couple it with the book of Jeremiah, the 51st chapter. Even though Jeremiah was talking about Babylon being destroyed, being that Babylon that he was living in, he was also twofold, meaning to say there was going to become a future town, okay, a future group of people that was going to rule a great town, a golden city that the scripture says within the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter. They was going to liken it unto Babylon, and the Lord was going to raise up a destroying wind against it. Okay, so let's go back into this now. Let's start now within the book. Let's go into the book of Job, the 20th chapter. We'll go back onto Jeremiah, the 51st chapter in a little while. So it says here, Job 20 and 4, it says, "Thou, know thou this not of old, that since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of a hypocrite but for a moment." Okay, so when you're reading these scriptures, right, you're gonna see the picture that the Most High is really pushing through the man Job here. Okay, you had it to where the wicked they had taken taken over the Byzantine Empire. They took down all of those so-called strongholds of Jake that was ruling, and they called themselves the Moors. Okay, and they took those guys down and put them into slavery. Okay, pursuant to the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter and the 68th verse. And after putting them into slavery, they took on their identity and they called themselves Jews, the Israelites. Okay. So they're triumphing right now because they had taken our identity and placed it upon themselves, and now they're out there within places like America, calling themselves the ruling class, they're calling themselves Jews. Okay, they're calling themselves the white people, this, that, and the third. Okay, but their real heritage is the Edomites, and these Edomites was going to rule the mystery Babylon that is spoken about within the scriptures. Okay, so let's carry on now. This is back within the book of Job, the 20th chapter. Now read this verse again because I really want to hit some points on it. It says, "The triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of a hypocrite but for a moment." So they had joyed over the tribulation of Jacob. Matter of fact, you go to the book of Obadiah, it says how the Esau, okay, Edom, okay, shouldn't have been as the people that was coming up against Jacob, okay, in the time of their calamity. Scripture says that they shouldn't have been as one of them. Okay, and they rejoiced at the downfall of Jacob. Moreover, they did not just rejoice over the downfall of Jacob, which is the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. They had when they was going to rule, they even put a greater yoke of burden upon the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. Okay, to the end that you had the transatlantic slave trade that took Jake okay, from the interiors of Africa and transfer them out there into the Americas. Okay, you had it to where you had the killing of the Native American Indians, okay, out there within the Americas. All of these things was going to be what? It was going to be the things that Esau did within this time that was going to really lead to his destruction. But when he was doing them, he was going to triumph, man. He was going to be happy, okay? Because this enemy, okay, which the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, was the enemy to who? It was the enemy to Esau, okay, going back onto King David, okay, men alike, okay, great men of biblical history that had taken down the Edomites and cut off, slaughtered the children of Edom, cut off the seed from wherever they had dwelt. But the Most High had preserved the seed because he had a particular judgment that he wanted to play out in a particular time unto this nation. Okay. So back into the book of Job, the 20th chapter, and this is the 5th verse, and it says that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment, though his excellency mount up unto the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds. So you got it to where right now he's developed all of these technologies, okay, they can set up spaceships and send satellites out into the skies, okay. It will be like, it will be like it's unimaginable, okay, to think that Esau is going to be brought down, okay, when you see his military might, okay, and how he's expounded his and used that military, okay, and to create commerce and to create dominance, okay, within the global economic market, you'll be hard pressed to think that this is the entity that the Most High is going to be destroying. But that's why the scripture says the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. So they have acquired the kingdom. Okay, they set up Babylon, which is America. They have acquired this place that as the world right now, the Western world. Okay, but ultimately they're gonna lose that Western world, and they're gonna lose it. Okay, by way of the besom of destruction that the scriptures speak of. Okay, that fanning of destruction that the scripture speaks of within the book of Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, which we're gonna get into in a little while. All right. So getting back onto the book of Job, the 20th chapter, it says, though his excellency mount up into the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yea, he shall perish forever like his own dung, and they which have seen him shall see him no more. Okay, talking about how Esau ultimately is going to be the only seed, okay, within the earth that's going to be completely wiped away. Okay, excuse me, let me just... So that should keep the camera dry. I should keep the camera dry. There we go. Okay, so it's back within the book of Job, the 20th chapter, and the 7th verse. It says, "Yea, he shall perish forever like his own dung, and they which have seen him shall say, where is he?" Okay, and really, when you build this picture and apply scriptures like Isaiah the 14th chapter to it, okay, how Lucifer fallen down to the ground, which people misinterpret to being the spiritual demon Satan, really is talking about the light bearer, okay, which was going to be the people that rule right now, okay, because they bear the light, they bear the information, okay, they have, you know, the key to the Vatican. You got a lot of information out there within the Vatican, okay, that they don't release. But in amidst those documentations, you got it to where you got history upon Jake, okay, where you can easily prove the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans are the Israelites, okay, and they got that under lock and key, okay, that information is not readily accessible, okay, so they're the light bearer, so people misinterpret the scripture within the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, to be meaning the spiritual entity, Satan, okay, of which he works for the Most High, okay, he does the bidding of Yahweh Shem outside. Okay, he goes to and fro, okay, putting it within the elite spirits to do certain things, okay. So let's carry on here. It says, the eye also, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. Okay, they which have seen him shall see him no more. You okay? How you getting on?
All right.
Okay, good stuff. You're intrigued, right? Okay, so it says, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung, and they which have seen him shall see him no more, and say, where is he? Okay, he shall fly away as a dream. Okay, and shall not be found, yea, shall be chased away as the vision of the night. And this is talking about the whole entirety of the nation of Edom. Okay, all the Edomites is going to be wiped off for the face of the earth. They ain't going to exist anymore. Okay? There's going to come a time when you're going to find the Edomite, okay, out here within the earth, within the world, because like the scripture says, the root of wickedness is going to be put out of the earth. And really, when you check out how these different nations are gonna see to that, and how they're gonna behave when they see that, really everybody's gonna rejoice. Going back onto the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, what did it say? It says the wicked is persecuted and none hindereth. Meaning, say no one's gonna stop Esau being taken out of the earth, man. Okay, no one's gonna stop that, because when he's taken out of the earth, that's when you're gonna have peace being established. Okay, you go to the book of Micah, the 2nd chapter, on the 10th verse. What does it say? Arise, ye depart, for this is not your rest. Why isn't it our rest? Because you go to where the hypocrite, okay, the wicked, they're in rulership right now, and they're rejoicing at their rule, and they're accomplishing their wicked enterprise. Okay. Now, we know through the scriptures that he's going to accomplish so much, and when he was about to fill his belly, the Most High was going to cast his wrath upon him. This is spoken about within the book of Job, 20th chapter, as I'm going to get into in right here. Okay? Okay? So, Job, the 20th chapter, and this is the 9th verse. It says, the eye that saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place behold him anymore. So, when the kingdom is set up, the kingdom of the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, pursuant to the book of Daniel, the 2nd chapter on the 44th verse, okay, when that is set up, you ain't gonna be able to go out there and take a trip to America, and then you're gonna see these great wonders that Esau has built up. Okay, the Empire State Building, all of these different things. You isn't gonna see that anymore, because his place wasn't going to behold him anymore. I'm going into the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter, which I'm going to have to get a little bit later on. What you're going to find out is that whole place, that whole land was going to be left as a monument. Okay, it was going to be left as a sign of what not to do. Okay, lest the Most High judge you greatly. Okay, so it says there, his children shall seek to please the poor. Okay, and his hands shall restore their goods. His bones are full of the sin from his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Okay, because going into the fact that when America was incepted, okay, it was incepted in great wickedness. You look at Washington, Washington D.C. and the different imagery that they've got by way of the buildings and how they constructed the buildings is a very demonic place. Okay, it's a very wicked place. Okay, and that goes into the book of Isaiah, the 47th chapter. Okay, which I'm going to get right now. So this is Isaiah, the 47th chapter, and this is the first verse. It says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Who's the virgin daughter of Babylon? This is talking about the mystery Babylon, okay, Revelations, the 18th chapter. This is talking about the second, the modern day Babylon, which we know as America, where great judgment was going to be played out. Okay, let's go get some information to back that up. Psalms, what's that precept in Psalms? Okay, I'll try to remember that precept. Might be Psalms 119. Right, I'll get that. I can't quite. I was going to find the precept in the book of Psalms where it talks about how Esau is the daughter of Babylon. Okay. Well, to be destroyed. Can't quite remember where it is. But let's stick with the point here. Okay, the book of Isaiah, the 47th chapter. Let me go back onto the book of Job, the 20th chapter. So book of Isaiah, the 47th chapter, on the first verse, it says, come down, sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldees. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Okay, so going back onto the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter, how the Lord has broken the staff of the wicked. Okay, and how is this staff of the wicked allow them to conduct themselves? Well, you go to where you got 10 aircraft carriers. You can bully every different country that you got out here within the world. You had it to where America has unlimited dominance over the geopolitical scene. Okay, so you haven't had it to where Russians come. Which Russians? Them Russians are Edomites too. But you haven't had it to where they've rolled up and set military bases along and around America. They've just been doing their thing. Okay, the same thing with the Chinese, the same thing with the Japanese. Okay, so you got it to where this country has been untouched because they've had the greatest military strength that's ever existed in the entirety of history. Okay, So it says, sit in the dust, O virgin and daughter of the Chaldees. Okay, take the millstone and grind, uncover the locks, make bare the legs. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Okay, and I'll take vengeance, and I'll not meet thee as a man. So you got it to where all of the wickedness that has happened within America, the enslavement of the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans. Okay, the great witchcraft that's coming out of it, the abominations that are being poured out throughout the four countries, throughout the whole entirety of the world. Okay, which we was reading about within the book of Jeremiah, the 51st chapter. Okay, this is all the wickedness that was going to be uncovered within the latter times. Okay, all of the what you know was false flag attacks. Okay, all of those things was going to be uncovered by way of the internet. Okay, and that was going to be spread out throughout the four corners of the earth, and everybody was going to look and marvel and say, this is a place of great wickedness, man. Okay, so it says here, and as for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel, is to sit down in silence and get thee into the dark, O door of the Chaldees, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Okay, the top kingdom, man, the top throne within the earth. What country is that? This is talking about what you know as America, man. Okay, this is talking about what you know as NATO. These are the top dogs within the earth right now. These are the people, these are the countries that decide what you eat, how you eat, when you eat, what you watch, when you watch it. They're the ones that decide how the dispensation of time is used within this society. They're the ones that are in rulership right now. And as a result, when the Lord returns, or when he sent Brother Mo, when he sends his son Yahweh Shai to return, okay, to redeem his people, this is the people wherewith judgment was going to be, a great judgment was going to befall upon them. And this is the great judgment that we're going to be reading about today. Okay, so it says here within the book of Isaiah the 47th chapter, okay, the 6th verse, it says, I was wroth with my people, I polluted my inheritance. How did the Lord pollute his inheritance? You had it to where the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, they were in their own land, okay, basically worshiping idols. Okay, you had it to where different kings had been set up within Israel and within Jerusalem that had set altars unto these different gods of these heathens. Whereas the scripture says that what? You ain't supposed to have no God other than the Most High, but you still had it to where wicked ass Jakes had set up different gods, okay, unto the heathens. You had it to where within the time of the Maccabees, okay, the time of the rise of the Greek Empire, you had it to where you had certain cats, okay, namely Jason, the Hellenizer, Menelaus, etc., etc. These guys had it to where they had made a decree, okay, within the heathen nations, and they had partaken, okay, within the customs of the heathens, building gymnasiums, okay, adopting to the Greek philosophies. And as a result, we were sold off into what? Into captivity. So the Most High polluted his inheritance. He was wroth with his people because they did not keep onto the covenant that Yahweh Shem Yahushua had set up for them, okay, from the foundations of the earth. Because when you go into the book of times of Adam had the scripture says that the Most High breath